you cannot be carrying a Chanel bag and the money you have inside is not even up to the money you bought the bag. Don't do that. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yvonne. If you're returning or you just stumble on this channel, hey girl, make sure you join the family. If you find this video interesting and you feel like this is your family, just click on the subscribe button and you're automatically one of us. This video is gonna be different from content that I always put out on my channel. So you guys know I talked about self-care on this channel sometimes. So I want to talk about growing up. I want to talk about being that girl. Basically everything about female, everything about femininity. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And yeah, I feel like at this age of my life, I'm currently in that position to talk about this topic because I'm in my late 20s. And yeah, I have a whole book jotted here. I had to script this topic because it's a whole lot. Yeah, let's get into it real quick. I feel bad sometimes because all those things that I knew now, sometimes I'll be like, oh, let's assume I knew this earlier. I wouldn't have made a lot of mistakes in my early 20s. So if you're getting all those tips for free, make sure you're thankful, okay? And guys, secondly, what I want to say, even if you're not in your 20s, you're in your late 20s or your 30s, you can actually implement this tip. It's never too late. Like some of this tip that I'm going to be putting out here, you can also apply them in your 30s. So you don't need to be like, oh, I want to click out because she's talking about being that girl in your 20s. You can also implement these tips in your 30s. I'm going to be giving you guys 10 tips on how to level up in your 20s. And yeah, so the first is knowing God. I know this is not what you're expecting, but I tell you, if you're in your early 20s, you have to know God. You have to be closer to God, because trust me, without you knowing God, without you praying, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. I feel in your 20s, you have to be closer to God. You have to be prayerful. So anything you want to do is gonna work out like just like this. Because trust me, baby, God is the way, God is the ultimate. Knowing God is just everything you need to know in your 20s. Other things I think is just an icing on a cake. When you are that girl that is prayerful, when you're that girl that always asks God for his direction in everything you're doing, every process of your life in your 20s is going to be amazing. Trust me. If you implement the fact that you knowing God in your 20s, everything is just going to be going smoothly like this. Anything you want to do, make sure you seek the face of God. Ask God for his direction. And yeah, so the second tip is getting to know yourself in your 20s. That's the second tip. I feel this is very, very important. This is even important for you before you start dating in your 20s. A lot of people make this mistake. Even me, I think I've made this mistake in my early 20s. Girl, you have to know yourself. Like, have a you time. Like, sometimes be alone. You want to move out from your parents' house and be on your own. If you feel it's much more better for you to be focused that way, like you moving out from your parents' house, be more focused, I'll tell you, do it, okay? Because I feel before you even started dating in your 20s, you should know yourself more. Understand everything about you, okay? Before you even allow anyone coming into your life. Learn a lot of things, explore. Exploring in your 20s is very important. What you mean is very, very important, okay? Explore in your 20s. Do not just be there, like be in one place. Do not go out, do not mingle with friends, do not travel, You get it? Traveling is part of education. When you travel, you get to meet new people, learn new language, understand, make new friends and all that. Make sure that you do things that make you happy, like put yourself first. That's the second tips you need to implement in your 20s. Your purpose to this world. Everybody have a purpose why they are being created to this planet Earth. So you knowing yourself early in your 20s, that will make your life in your 20s perfect, because you're able to discover yourself early. I didn't know this, like I was not able to discover who I am, who I truly am in my early 20s. So know your purpose, why you are being created. Understand your person, understand yourself. So that is it. So the third tip, guys, is dating. Some people, they'll be like, oh, I want to get married before 25, have kids and all that. But I'll tell you, sis, do not make that a must in your early 20s, because I feel that in your 20s are those age that you're actually going to be achieving a lot for yourself. Marriage will come, like do not rush it. But if it comes in your 20s, girl, grab it, because I know a whole lot of people that they're married, they have kids in their 20s and all that. I feel like in your 20s are those age in your life that you really need to establish in yourself. You really need to know yourself. You really need to achieve those goals you want to achieve before getting into your 20s. You get it? So that's the reason why I'm like, do not rush it. Like when you're dating, do not be looking for that serious relationship in your early 20s, because girl, you're still young. You still have time. Explore. There are a lot of people you're gonna meet in your 20s, like a lot of guys that will come your way. What you should be doing in your 20s is looking for that guy that you're actually gonna be settling down with, not trying to settle down in your 20s. That's what you should be looking in your early 20s, looking for that guy that will complete you when it's time, when you're ready, like when you must have achieved all those goals like you've set out for yourself to achieve in your 20s. Then boom. So if you're rushing, like you wanna get married, you just finish your secondary school, you have a lot of life ahead of you. Your 20s is that age of your life that you definitely want to build yourself. You want to start up a business, you want to do things for yourself. So I will tell you, in your early 20s, do not rush it. Go out on a date with a lot of people. I'm not trying to say you should flirt in your 20s. Don't do that, okay? Go out on a date, get to know people you want to know, get to know if they are capable of being in your space. Explore. I'm not trying to say you should be irresponsible in your 20s. You can actually go on a date with different guys without having anything to do with them. You're trying to know if they can be on your space, baby. So that's the major reason why you should explore in your 20s. Do not rush it. Do not rush. Like do not rush to want to like be in a serious relationship. Try to know people before you allow them into your life, because it's very necessary. The second tips that we talked about is knowing yourself, right? After you knowing yourself as a person, you should know the kind of people you allow to your space. So the dating aspect of it is you trying to know the kind of guy you want to allow in your life. So that's the reason why I said explore, do not rush it. Okay, so guys, the first tips we are gonna be talking about, you loving yourself. Like love yourself. Yeah, you have to love yourself before people will love you, before you even go into that relationship, sis. Before you even think of dating in your 20s, you have to love yourself. Never ever you look down on yourself, look down on the things that you feel like, oh, this thing, I don't think I can do it. Always look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're a queen. You have to love yourself, because trust me, if you do not love yourself, I don't think others will even love you. Make sure you love yourself. It's very important, like very, very important. Fifth tips is start a business. See, starting a business in your 20s, important you do that. Start up that business, save up the amount of money you know that you're not comfortable to live on your own. I know most of you will be like, oh, how to start a business, there's no money to start a business and all that. Work first. I didn't start my business on time in my 20s. I started my business when I was 24. That was when I started my business. I did a video about that. If you want to see that video, I'll leave it in the description. I'm going to leave it here or here so you can go watch that video. I started my business late, definitely. So start your business early. When you start a business in your early 20s, trust me, before you get to your 30s, girl, you're gonna be that girl. You will not even think of depending on anybody, depending on your parents for money. See, anything you want, you can get it. So that's the reason why you need to start up a business in your early 20s, okay? There's a lot of business you can do without you having a capital first before starting. I didn't start my business with any capital. I just start posting like pre-order stuff online. People will tell me they like it, and they'll bank in for me, and I'll order for them and they get their stuff. So there are a lot of businesses that you can start in your early 20s that you do not even need a capital to start. So start up that business in your 20s. Do not limit yourself. Like in your 20s, these are the age of your life that you have the strength to do a lot of things. Because when you get to your 30s, trust me, you still have that strength, but it will not be there. Like the ginger will not be there. When you are in your early 20s, that's the age of your life that you're being gingered to do a lot of things. You get it? I know some people are lost in this aspect of their life. They need guidance. That's the reason why I'm here putting out this tip for you, girl. If you stumble on this channel, trust me, if you implement all those tips that I'm telling you right now, before you get to your 20s, you'll be that boss girl, like without you depending on anybody. And it will be a plus for you when you have something doing in your 20s and you're also dating. A guy will respect you for that, because you are an independent woman, you have a business going. Before you get to your 30s, you think of retiring. You must have saved a lot of money that will do you more good in your future. So that's the reason why start up a business in your 20s is very important. Very, very important. So yeah, the 6 tips we are going to be talking about is saving. Save in your 20s. Sis, saving is very important. You save. I feel like if you cannot afford something 3 times or 4 times, do not get that thing. You don't need it, sis. You cannot afford it. Do not be buying things anyhow because you feel like you own a business, you have money, you want to be spending it around. No, girl. Make sure you save. It's very important. Do not lavish your money on things that is not necessary in your life. Things you know is very important, things you know you cannot do without. So that's the things you should be getting in your 20s. Do not be getting that Chanel bag worth thousands of dollars when you don't have times 4 of that money in your bank account or times 3 of that money in your bank. That's not smart. That is not smart, baby. Because you cannot be carrying a Chanel bag and the money you have inside is not even up to the money you bought the bag. Don't do that. You have to be financially responsible in your 20s. To be financially responsible in your 20s, we determine how far you will go in your early 20s to your late 20s to your 30s. Save those money. Invest in things you know will give you more money. Do not spend your money on unnecessary things that is not important. Trust me, you're going to regret it. Trust me, Those things, you will eventually get it someday. Invest with the money. If you cannot save it, that will give you more money. Because trust me, if you have a business you're doing in your 20s and you're spending that much, you're always buying and buying, your business will fall down. Like your business will automatically close down one day because you're not financially responsible. The 7 tips that we're going to be talking about is be mindful of the friends you keep in your 20s, because the people you allow into your life will determine if you're going to go like this or you're going to go like this. So that's the reason why you need to be very, very careful of the friends you keep in your 20s. If that friend is what she's all about is you guys going for clubbing, you guys always going out to spend money, cut those people off. Cut those people off. They are not trying to impart into your life. They are trying to reap out from you. You don't need such friends in your 20s. You need people that you grow with. You need people that will be able to take you to that level you want to be in life. That is the kind of friends you need in your 20s. It's good to have fun. Of course, you will have fun in your 20s. But if what they do like all the time is spending, like giving you bad advice, not advising you to that direction you're going to, like that direction you want to be, that person, that girl you want to be, you don't need such people in your life. So my loves, the next we're going to be talking about is do not be scared to take risk in your 20s. Girl, it's better you take that risk so you learn from it. If it works out, fine. If you do not, you learn from it. So do not be scared to take risk in your 20s. If you want to start up that business and you're doubting, oh, is it going to work out? Am I going to waste my money? Blah, blah, blah. Doubt and all that. Do not be scared, okay? I remember when I went to start my business, I'm like, the only thing that kept me pushing is the fact that it's what I love doing. I love fashion. When I started my business newly, I wasn't getting clients. I wanted to give up, but I keep pushing. Take it. If it happens, it happens. If it did not, you learn from it. So that is it. The next is travel the world. I said this earlier. Sis, travel. Do not just be in one particular place for a very long time. Leave that city, go to another city. Travel is part of education. Travel is part of you discovering yourself, you discovering who you are, meeting new people, learning new culture, learning new languages, and all that. Do not be scared to travel. Travel the world if you have the money. If you do not have the money, eventually start up your business. You can start saving for that aspect. Very, very important to travel in your 20s. So that is it, guys. That is it for this video. I hope you learned one or two from this video and hope this video is helpful. And if you find this video interesting, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. You can share to your friends if you want. I will appreciate that. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video, and I pray you guys have all the sense of humor to be that girl in your 20s. And yeah, even if you're not in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you can actually implement all those tips. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in my next video. Stay blessed and stay beautiful. Mwah.